Welcome to Submitting to the Alpha, a spicy paranormal romance web serial. Dive into Isabella and Roman's sizzling shifter romance and experience the thrill of toying with an alpha like never before. Join the adventure now. We hope you enjoy.
Chapter 29. Isabella. "Tomorrow's your big day," Mom said, hopping onto my bed with a big grin on her face and pulling me into a hug. Her mate's necklace felt warm against my skin, and I hoped that this was the right choice. "Fingers crossed that Derek's your mate." I smiled and gazed at the moonflowers on the windowsill, twinkling brighter than they had ever twinkled. "I remember when you were just a little pup," she said. "Now look at you, about to be a woman, about to find your mate, and about to settle down." She wiped a tear from her eye. "I can't wait when you meet him, or her, when you lay your eyes on him for the first time, when you see his smile, when you smell his scent. You'll never forget that moment. It'll be the best moment of your life, Izzy." My wolf suddenly felt terrible. I wrapped my arms around myself, took a deep breath, and hoped that I wouldn't cry. How could I leave this? Leave this support, leave this love? "It's okay, Mom," I said, but I didn't know if it really was. She crawled off my bed, placed a kiss on my forehead, and left the room. About 20 minutes later, Dad's snores drifted through my closed door. I tiptoed out of my room and gazed into theirs. They were smiling as they slept. Mom cuddled into Dad's chest. I couldn't wait to be that way with my mate soon, smiling, happy, loved. A tear slipped down my cheek. Though that guilt had continued to build and build until I was nearly drowning in it, becoming a lichen was my goal. They had always supported my goals before. If I left, I was sure they would support that decision too. I walked out of the house and through the woods, hoping that I wouldn't attract the attention of any guards. The forest was quieter than the other night when I left Pack property. No midnight howling, no wolves running, no Roman. The Pack house came into my view, and I walked toward it like I was drawn to it. I lingered outside his bedroom window. Every moment that I had been here, every moment that I had been with him, saw him, crushed on him in high school, flashed through my mind. But one moment lingered the longest. It was Roman's 18th birthday. 15-year-old me lingered in these woods, in this exact spot, watching him lead practice like he had done for 3 years. Sweat dripped down his forehead. His brown hair was tousled on his head. His muscles were swollen under the early morning sun. In the middle of a practice match against Caden's dad, our beta at the time, he gazed at me and stopped. His green eyes shimmered with golden streaks, and I swore that I could hear his heart racing. He walked right away from his match and toward me, scolding me for being here when I should have been in school. Though tense when he grabbed my arm and shoved me through the woods to the school, he relaxed. He didn't let me go, even when he had brought me to the principal's office. He remained close to me, and I wished that we could still be that close. This decision would tear us apart, but he had torn us apart when he told me I wasn't good enough to be a warrior. Before I had second thoughts, I ran off the property and found Riker waiting for me about 100 yards to the west. My life was about to change for the better. My life was about to change for the better. My life was about to change for the better. During the hour run, I tried to convince myself. Every one of the lichens waited for me by the bonfire. "There are 2 traditions we have for every new member," Riker said, standing in front of the group and in front of me. The fire glowed off his eyes, and I smiled. "They hunt to prove their abilities, and then they get the lichen symbol tattooed on themselves to commit to us." I bounced up and down on my toes. I never thought that I would be here. I never thought this opportunity would come to me so easily. Not after Roman. "Are you ready?" Riker asked me, his woodsy scent overwhelmingly strong. After I nodded my head, Riker told me to run to the east, where the rogues had been torturing some alphas by taking the pups in their packs. I had a goal: kill one of them. I placed my nose to the ground, picking up and tracking the scent of a rogue to a nearby pack. The lichens followed me, their paws hitting the ground like a thunderous roar, purposefully making it more difficult for me. At the edge of the property, a rogue stood and watched a couple guards who were oblivious to his scent. Then he leapt into the air, right under the moonlight, about to kill him. I sprinted forward, leapt up, and sunk my teeth right into the rogue's neck before he could kill anyone. We tumbled to the ground, somersaulting over and over until I landed on top of him. The rogue struggled under me, but I sunk my teeth deeper into his neck and ripped out his throat, letting the blood rain down on his hollow face and earning the respect of the lichens behind me. After we walked back to the lichens' property, Riker gave me a spare change of clothes. I changed into them without showering and walked with him and the rest of the lichens to their tattoo parlor. My final task: to tattoo the lichen symbol on my body, a permanent symbol of my allegiance to them. I sat down in the chair, trying to still my trembling hands. I wasn't nervous for the needle, but my wolf was whimpering, begging me to stop, forcing me to think about everyone's reactions to this act of betrayal. Riker sat next to me as the others chatted with each other, smiled at me, drank, and had a good time celebrating. He placed a hand on my hand, steadying it. "Are you sure about this? You can back out now. Nobody would judge you for it." "No, not now. I couldn't back out. This is what I wanted for ages, Riker." I shook my head. There is no going back now. I gazed around the room, taking in the hundreds of pictures of previous lichens who had been tattooed here, and the rogue canines hanging from the ceiling as trophies from previous lichens editions. "Once you have the tattoo, it is final. You will have to train with us for at least a year," Riker said, giving me every single opportunity to decline. "This is what I want. I'll be valued here. I will get to protect everyone that I care about, and I will achieve my goals. There was no better option. Luna Rhea would be so proud of me. Let's do this." He paused for a moment, then nodded. "You may get the tattoo anywhere you'd like." He pulled up his sleeve, letting me see the wolf tattoo on the back of his hand and the hundreds of moonflowers crawling up the side of it. "And for each rogue you eliminate, you're allowed to tattoo a moonflower next to your wolf." I smiled down at his arm, getting butterflies in my stomach. I brushed my finger against his skin, getting chills. He had killed so many rogues and eliminated their evils from this earth. "How many do you have?" "Moonflowers?" he asked, watching me and smiling. 240. My eyes widened. "Geez." He chuckled lowly, and my heart raced. "You'll be there soon, Bella. I know you will." "I want mine on my back," I said, removing my shirt and my sports bra, and leaning forward into the chair to cover my breasts. The tattoo artist placed a stencil on my upper back and drew the wolf. When he started the tattoo gun, I grabbed Riker's hand, not because it would hurt, but because I was still trying to convince myself. But as soon as the needle touched my skin, I sighed in relief. A wave of pride rolled through me, and I knew that this was the right choice. The tattoo took almost an hour, and Riker stayed by my side the whole time. He stared at me, not saying a word, and drew a finger down my forearm to soothe me. My wolf howled inside of me, not wanting him to touch us. It was after 12 a.m., officially my 18th birthday, and she recognized that he wasn't our mate. Nobody here was. When the wolf tattoo was complete, the artist started on my first moonflower. I watched him tattoo me in the mirror and smiled. This was everything I had been waiting for, and more. Why had Roman overlooked me so easily? This was the best birthday I ever had, and I hoped it would just get better. But I knew that it probably wouldn't. I would have to tell everyone that I was leaving. Mom, Dad, Derek, Roman. Once the artist wiped the blood off my back, Riker smiled at me. "Welcome to the pack, Bella. Your tattoo will heal within the next few hours, thanks to your wolf's quick healing abilities. I will let you spend your 18th birthday with your friends and family and pack, but I expect you back tomorrow." He handed me my shirt. "And don't forget that you will need to tell Roman that you are leaving his pack to join the Lycans." I nodded my head and swallowed hard, not sure how I felt at that moment. This was real. There was no going back.
You've reached the end of this episode. Thanks for listening. To get up to 4 weeks additional uncensored content, subscribe to the podcast at reamstories.com/AmeliaRoseAudio. Due to content restrictions, explicit sex scenes will only be available through Ream. But if you'd like to continue listening to my free episodes, make sure to hit the follow button to receive updates.